So today topic is generics. Tell me, what you understand, what is the purpose of generics? For what reason generics feature is there? Okay. For what reason generics is there? So tell me, what is our learning style of any new topic? First point is what? What? Second point, why? Third point, how? Fourth point, sample program. Okay. Fifth point, compiler and JVM activities. Nothing but execution flow, right? Compiler and JVM activities and execution flow. JVM activities nothing but compiler activities nothing but syntax checking. JVM activities means execution flow. Okay. Next. Where we will use, and the next nothing but it's like a WH questions, which, and then project scenarios, interview questions and project scenarios. Okay. What the duration of this class? 2 hours, up to 9. Okay. So these are the 8 points you have to learn. And we need to add some more points. Let me try first. What is generics? From which version? From which version this feature is available? Okay. Next, why generics? What the need of this feature? Okay. What is generics? Why this feature is, from which version this feature is available, and why generics concept is given. Then how can we tell to compiler this is generic syntax? Okay. And next, sample program with generics, compiler and JVM activities. Next, where can we use generics? Where means can we use with class? Can we use with variable? Can we use with method? Can we use with a constructor? Can we use with return type? Okay. So when we say where constructor, then which generics means we have types of generics. Okay. I can say which generic. In place of which generic I wanted to write, we have generic class. Generic class. We have generic variable. Okay. We have generic method. Okay. Method means obviously constructor. Okay. Constructor will not be there. Generic method. Generic variable also let me remove. We have generic class and generic method. How to create generic class and generic method. And come to the entry questions. Come to the entry questions. First one is assignment. Assignment with variable assignment. In place of variable assignment, say generic with inheritance. Okay, generic with inheritance. So these are the 8 points. Let's see. And if we find any new points, we will also include here. Okay. So now tell me, how much important generic topic you have to know. Okay. It is very, very important. You should know generic topic. If generic topics, if you don't learn properly, you will face difficulty understanding collections. Also difficult to understand Java 8 new features. Okay. So you have to understand generics clearly, and it's very, very, very easy topic. We have generic interface also, generic interface and generic class, generic method. Okay, 1 second. Some people are crying on voice. Let's guide them. Where I can write. Okay, let's start with first point. What is generics? So generic is a generic. Okay. What is generic? Generic is a generic. What I can say? What is generic means? Generic means generic. Tell me what is specific, what is generic? Specific means specific, particular to one thing is called what? Specific. Now common to all, then what we call it as generic. Okay. So generic is a generic. Okay. I want to create something common to all. Then we have to say what? Generic. So what is generics means, it's very difficult to say. I can say one thing. Generic is a Java 5 version new feature. Okay. Generic is a Java 5 version new feature. Generics or generic both. Generics is a Java 7 new feature. Why generic feature? Generic feature is used for providing, it is used for providing type safety, providing type safety information to compiler. It is used to provide, it is used for providing type safety information to compiler. That means by using generics feature, we can inform to, we can inform to, we can inform to whom? Compiler, the type of objects we want to pass or store, pass or return or store in the program. Okay. Okay, sir. Why need the generic syntax? I can use parameter. Na? I can create a method parameter. Method parameter I taken as what? Example or student, employee, bank account, bike, or some loan or some invoice. I can create the parameter. Here, what are you saying? This is used for providing type safety information. What is the meaning of type safety information? First, let me explain with an example. Now observe, I am creating main method. If you remember, collection is a collection has add method. Collection is having add method. Add method parameter is what type of parameter? Add method is object. Object parameter, right? Now look at here. I am creating array list object. I am using Java 1.4 version. Okay, Java 1.4 version. Array list of no generic syntax, just 1.4 version syntax I'm using. Array list AL equal to new array list of. This is way we create in Java 1.4 version. So in Java 1.4 version, when you create array list like this, AL dot add method. Look at there, what the parameter of add method? Object. When it is a parameter is object, I can pass any type of object now. I can pass a string object, accepted. AL dot add of, I can pass integer object, accepted. Okay, but what type of objects I want to store in the collection? Only string objects. Look at that, compiled successfully, a comma 5. Both are accepted. What type of objects I want to store in array list? Only string objects. I don't want to store different type of objects, only string objects. Can compiler or will compiler stop storing integer object? Not possible. Why not possible? Because add another parameter, what you have to take an object. Did you specify what type of object you want to store in the array list? No. Because you didn't specify what type of object you want to store in array list, compiler considered as what? Object type, accepting to store what? Both type of object. Then tell me, what is the use of generic? Generic is used for providing type safety information to the compiler. So here, did I provide type safety information to the compiler? No. That means what type of objects are allowed to store in compiler? Did I say? No. Then now my question is, sir, what is the problem? Why we store a different type of object? If you remember the project, inside project we use array list as inside the project we will use collection object as a transferable object. Now, what the meaning of transferable object? Our project is divided into three parts: UI, and next programming, and then what? Database. Okay, this is UI view. Okay, you can say MVC architecture. This is what? View. This is view. And then what is this? Controller. And what is this next one is model. Okay, here then what we are having? Database. So in database we have table. Carefully observe this one point. If you understand, then entire project is under your control. Now this is end user or the developer, whoever. Now this person is giving multiple values to the view. View is giving those values as argument to controller. Control is giving to model. Model storing the data in database table. Then from the table, model retrieving the data. The data is giving to the controller. Then the data, same data returned to the view. View displaying the data to end user. Now my question here, carefully observe. In this project, you are dealing with different type of values or same type of values, depending on the table, na? So this table is what now? Student table. I am collecting Naresh IT students information and storing. Okay. Observe, very important point. This is what table? Student table. So he is a data entry operator. The students who take an admission in our batch, now that student information is storing by using what? One UI form. Here UI form is there. So in this UI form, he is inputting data. Okay, so now it is entering the data in the view. Then whatever the data entered in the view, that data is submitting to the controller. Then controller receiving student object data only, na? Then now the student object is given to controller. Okay, view collecting the data into student object. Student object is giving to what? Controller. Controller is going to what? Model. And model storing the student data inside table, student table. Then this user again click on the new view, again enter the second student data, second student object passed to controller, controller passing second student object to model, model storing second student data in the database table. Okay, Rakesh, you also reply so that you will not feel other students' message disturbing you. Okay, not Rakesh, who is the person? Ambika, you also reply along with my questions with other students so that other students' message will not disturbance to you. Is it clear? Okay. So now tell me here what? This is a data entry operator. This data entry operator is entered first student data stored, again second student data stored, again third student data stored. Okay. Now like this, how many students are there? 10 students are there, 20 students are there, 100 students are there. Here in the model class, I executed what? Select query, select star from students. Then how many students are coming from the table? Multiple students. Okay. Then all students information I have to return to the controller. To return all information to the controller, tell me, first student record, first student object, second student record, second student object, third student record, third student object, fourth student record, fourth student object. Like that, all student objects I have to return means can I return one object? No. What we do? We will use a current chapter. What is that? Collection. So we will use a collection object. We will collect all the objects into collection and return what? Collection object. Then the collection object come here. Collection object come with all the student objects. The same collection object return to what? View. Then view receiving the collection object, with all these things. Then view retrieving the first student, displaying, retrieving the second student, displaying, retrieving the third student, displaying, retrieving the fourth student, displaying. Everyone understand? So tell me, this project is what? Collection object as a transferable object. Interviewer ask a question. Can you explain collection with the project? Yes, a collection can be used as a two ways. Collection purpose. Collection used for two ways. Number one, collection as a transferable object, also collection as a mini database. Mini database means the student data we are storing in the collection object itself. We are not using database. That is a different story. So let us understand collection as a mini database. Collection as a transferable object. If you observe collection as a transferable object here, in this project is dealing with which object? Only student. When you are storing only in the student, then collection object contains only student object. Collection object coming to previous program or next program, only student object na? Now tell me, in Java 1.0, collections introduced, and in Java 1.2 version, collections framework introduced to create collection object to store homogeneous objects or heterogeneous objects also. Homogeneous and heterogeneous object. Collection main purpose is what? Heterogeneous object. Then tell me, if collection is meant for storing heterogeneous object, feature is heterogeneous, but come to the project, are we storing heterogeneous object or homogeneous object only? Homogeneous object. Up to 1.4 version, okay, even though objects contain only homogeneous objects, we are writing lot of extra code and there is a problem. Now, first of all, project architecture, project purpose, collections understood. In projects, 99.9999% we will use collection only for storing and returning or passing. Collection object with a different type of objects or same type of objects? Same type of objects. Up to Java 1.4 version, collection programming is having a big problem. Let me tell you, this is array list 1. Array list 1 collection is meant for storing different type of objects. But in the project, collection is not meant for storing different type of object. Collection is meant for storing only same type of objects. So now I want to store only string objects. Okay. Then only string objects stored. Perfect. But now the problem is, observe here, when you want to retrieve the object from the collection, when I want retrieve objects from the collection, which method we use? Array list 2 dot get of some index number I am passing. When I call get of 0, it is returning which object from 0 index? String object. Bolo everyone, can I write here string s1 equal to? Can I call get method and return that string object as a string and store in the string variable? Possible or not possible? Not possible. Compiler throw error. Why? Tell me. Collection accepts this object and storing it as a what type? String type or object type? Object type. Come again, it is storing inside collection as what? Object type. What the parameter of add method? Object. You are telling to compiler, I am storing my object as what type? Object type. That means collection is meant for storing a particular type of all different types to store. Then get method will return the object as what type? String type or object type? Object type. Because get method must return which type? Maybe string, maybe integer, maybe double. Sir, for instance array list we are storing only string objects na? Yes. For AL2 instance collection we stored only string object. But did you tell that point to the compiler software? No. Compiler feeling what type of objects are available in the array list? All types of object. When it is available all types of object, as per runtime polymorphism, if you want to return any type of object from the method, return type should be what? Superclass. Who is the superclass of all classes? Object. Then I know the object coming from the array list is a string only, but are you allowed to assign to string directly? No. If you try to assign to string directly, compiler throw error. Then what should I do? I should take into reference variable object1, then al2 dot get of 0. Everyone understand? Tell me, what is the problem you have find? The first problem here, what? If you don't inform the type of objects you want to store in the collection, compiler accept every object as what type? Object type, and it allows us to retrieve from the collection only as what type? Object type. Clear first point? Problem number one. Without generics, what is the problem? Problem number one. Objects returned from the collection as object type. Then I have to store the returned object only in object variable. Is there any problem if I store in object variable? Big problem is there. What is the problem? Observe. Using object one, can I call string class method to uppercase? Come on. Can I call obj1.to uppercase method? Can I call? Possible or not possible? Not possible. Why? To uppercase is a method which is compiler searching inside where? Object class. In object class, to uppercase method available or not available? Not available. Then compiler throwing error. What the problem number two? So this is problem number one. What the problem number one? The object returned from the collection cannot store in its own type of variable. Problem number two, we cannot invoke the returned object specific members. Then what is the solution? Come on, go back to the upcasting downcasting chapter. If I store subclass object reference in superclass variable, I cannot access subclass specific members. If you try to access, compiler will throw error. Then what is the solution? I should go for downcasting. Come on, do downcasting. String s1 equal to string of what I write? obj1. Then can I access now the to uppercase method now? Yes. By using what? S1 dot. No error. Bolo. What is the problem number one? Without generics, problem number one, we cannot retrieve object from collection and store in its own type of referenced variable. We must assign to only object type. Problem number two, we cannot invoke the returned object specific method because the object stored in the superclass variable, compiler searching for that method in the superclass variable. Problem number three, Adhyaksha. Tell me, whenever you typecasting, background one, a tiger is waiting for you to attack. What is that? Class cast exception. Now there is a problem here. Problem number three. What the problem number three? Class. There is a chance we'll get class cast exception. Currently, is there any chance we'll get class cast exception? No. Currently, there is no class cast exception. Currently, we don't get class cast exception. We are getting capital letter A. But if you show your talent, definitely class cast exception will come. Go back to the project. Understand again project scenario. Observe. Very, very important. Feel. In company, how many developers are there? For one project, one developer or multiple developers? Who will develop UI? Who will develop the view class? Who will develop? One developer. Controller, another developer. Model, another developer. So this model developer, try to understand, very important. This model developer has created a collection object with only student objects and written this collection object to the controller programmer. He informed to the controller programmer, Arey bhaiya, I will create the collection with only student objects. You don't worry. There is a agreement between the model programmer and a controller programmer. Promise. Where is that promise? In the program, that promise is there. Outside of the program, promise is there. Outside of the program, in the conference room, both people come together. In the meeting told, model programmer told, don't worry, Mr. Hare Krishna controller, I am going to return the collection object only with the student object. Then directly you can typecast it and use it. Agreement is happened. And then same agreement is given to whom now? View programmer also. Then the controller told, Array view programmer, I am receiving the collection object from the model programmer which contain only student objects. Then now you typecast directly to student object and then retrieve the data and print the data on the console. So all three programmers are coming together, holding one hand inside another person's hand. All people promise. In childhood you promise na chupra. Amatodu, right? Promise, mother promise. Finally mother promise completed. Then problem started. After 1 month or 2 months, this model programmer who developed this code, he resigned. New developer came, working on model. Tell me, did he give promise to other people? No. Then when he observed, he comes to know here along with the student object, student address object also has to return. Can this collection accept student and address objects both? Come on. Can this collection accept along with the student objects address object also? No. Collection is a homogeneous or heterogeneous, I mean. Heterogeneous means along with the student object, address objects also allowed to store or not? Neat color accepted or not accepted? Accepted. Actually, the address objects must be stored in the collection or not allowed to store? Not allowed. According to compiler, according to the project designer. According to project design, address object should not store in the collection. If I store the problem in model class, controller and view classes. Controller and view classes. Why? In controller class, we are retrieving the object from the student by using get method and typecasting to whom now? Student, and return the student. Coming object is student typecasted. Coming object is employee, coming object is second object student typecasted. Third object student typecasted. But coming object is what? Address. Then when address object is coming, what happened? Class cast exception. Then tell me, promise is failed or not? Okay, then now this controller programmer and view programmer, one person taking knife, another person taking a gun, going to model programmer era, you fail the promise. Then this model programmer suddenly looking at the controller and view, when I give promise, hey, who are you, man? Yeah, I'm the new developer, came onto this model program to develop. Oh, okay, you don't know that there is a promise in this program? No, I don't know any promise. Compiler didn't tell me the promise. So tell me, what is the problem here? The problem is, come on, problem is there, the promise is there as part of the programmer, outside of the programmer, outside of the, because the promise there outside of the program, then there is a chance comes what? Class cast exception. Do you understand the biggest problem in the collections programming? This generic feature is introduced to the Java language in Java 5 version to solve this project big problem in collection programming. What is that? Avoiding class cast exception. Okay, how to avoid this class cast exception before Java 1.4 version? We don't do directly typecasting. I hope you remember. We will do this typecasting inside where? Instance of operator if condition. If what? obj1 instance of string means according to our example student, then only do typecasting, else do nothing. So this is where we are handling. Tell me, if our collection contains only student objects, say 1 lakh objects are available in the collection, then 1 lakh time this if condition executing, time taking process, performance issue or not? If I don't write if condition, there is a chance we'll get class cast exception. If I write if condition, performance issue, then people are crying. Java developers are feeling, Java irritating, Rabbi. So it is missing something here. Then Java people, designers has found, okay, my dear Java developers, don't worry. I am coming with what? A new feature. What the new feature? Generics. By using generics, you can tell to compiler, I want to store in this collection only what type of object? String objects or student object. If the developer is trying to store another type of object, integers or address objects, throw error. So tell me, the contract is now available outside of the Java program, in Java program, because it is available in Java program. Compiler know that what type of objects are allowed to store in the collection. Yes. Then when you call get method, tell me, compiler know what type of object coming from this get method? What type of object? Student object. Then the student object, can I store in student variable directly? Yes. In this example, I am taking string, project according to project student, according to our example string. Then do I need higher range? Do I need loose coupling superclass variable? No. Can I call directly the to uppercase method directly by using S1 variable? Yes. Then problem number 1, problem number 2 are solved. Then do I need if condition? No. Performance issue is also solved or not? So finally tell me, what is the generic? Generics is a Java 5 new feature. It is used for providing type safety to the program. By using generic feature, we can inform to compiler what type of objects we want to store inside collection. Generic is used for generic is can be used with a regular program like student class, employee class? No. Generic is used for not for regular programming. Generic is used for what? Container kind of program. I am creating container kind of program to collect multiple objects as a group. Then only generic feature is useful. That means generic feature is available. Generic feature is given for collection programming simplifying. Now let me introduce generic syntax. So now I hope you understand these 2 points now with example clearly. Online students, can you please confirm if you understand this story? Then I will launch generic syntax. One minute. I think this is given live also. Let me check what YouTube live people are telling. YouTube live students, hope you all also understood everything. Why can't we use in general program? General program meant for storing objects, storing data of the object. Online students, can I see my video? Yeah, Digvijay, your point is correct. Why is not coming on? Yeah, YouTube live students, if you want to join the live class and you want to interact with me directly, you can use this WebEx ID. Okay. EF means execution flow. YouTube live students, you can use this WebEx ID. Go to browser. Yeah, Zoom is not there. We are not using Zoom. Type here webex.com and click on join a meeting, or else you can directly go to NareshIT.com instead of you do all this nonsense entering all. You can go to NareshIT.com and go to training, new batches, and here you have workshops. Click on workshops, scroll down, generics using this one, click here, and you can, it is asking for register, click on register, enter your details, register and join the class. Okay, you can come to the live chat, you can directly talk to me, there is no delay. Okay, fine. Even you can be there in YouTube also, you can ask the questions there also, I will answer, no problem. Okay, done. Now let's go to the next topic. So what is the point? Next point. What is generics? Generics is a Java 5 new feature. From which version it is available from? Java 5 new feature. What is the why generics? It is used for providing type safety information to the compiler. What the meaning of it? By using generics features, we can inform to compiler the type of objects we want to pass or return or store in the program. Okay, let me make it more simple. The type of objects you wanted to store in a collection object with the type safety. Type safety means what type of objects I want to store, that type of object only I want to store. Other things I don't want to store. Okay, fine. The next, how generics? What is the syntax of generics? Very important. Observe here. I want to create a one class. Okay, for example, I want to take class array list. I don't want to write our own class first. I want you to understand predefined class array list. Okay. Right. Class array list. Then here inside class array list, what is the method we have? Void add. What the parameter? Object obj. And next, what is the return type of the method? Object get off. Get off. What do you write? Int index. Open bracket, closed bracket. Okay. Hanish, you also reply Nana along with my questions. Other students must know what people are understanding, not understanding, what they are answering, what not answering. You should know. Okay. Compulsory, every student should interact with other students. Make the class as offline class, live class. So it should not be like you and me only there in the class. Other students also should feel that they should know what other students are telling. Clear? So it should be everyone option must be there, and you also answer along with me. Are you attending class from mobile? If you attend class from mobile, it's a disturbance. Use laptop. If you use from laptop, if you join class from the laptop, it will be more interactive, right? This is with generics or without generics? Without generics. Without generics, what is the type of object? Homogeneous or heterogeneous? Without generics, collection is homogeneous or heterogeneous? Heterogeneous. Collection is heterogeneous. Okay. Can I write one statement here? By using generics, we can create what type of collection? Homogeneous collection. Homogeneous collection. That is the main target of generics. Now, please try to answer. I want to create a collection object with generics. What is the syntax of the generics? Very simple syntax. Class, after class you write array list, after class name you should write here angular bracket. So how many brackets already we are using in Java? Open bracket, closed bracket. Flower brackets we are using to create the block of statements. For creating class method and block, we use angular bracket, flower bracket. We are using round brackets for creating method parameters and arguments. Now, and also we are using square bracket for creating what? Array object. From Java 5 version onwards, we are also using angular bracket syntax. In angular bracket, you should write one identifier. Do you remember identifier means? Identifier is nothing but name. A name in the programming language is called what? Identifier. So array list is the name of the class, identifier. Get, identifier, name of the method. Index, identifier, name of the variable or parameter. So in angular bracket, you have to write identifier. Generally, the identifier will be a single letter identifier. What identifier? Single letter identifier. Generally, we will take E. E stands for what? Element. Okay, what you are storing in the collection? In the collection, we will store what? Elements. So element is the full cut, but generic syntax here, single letter, we will take element E, because class name is already bigger name. Again, generic name also, if you take large name, then it's become very difficult to read and pronounce. That's why people are choosing word angular bracket E. Now tell me, what is the syntax of generic syntax? Generic syntax is what? Class following by class name, angular bracket, letter. Okay, this letter is what? Generic. So I want to write it as generic parameter name. So what we call it as? Generic parameter name, open bracket, closed bracket. This is the syntax. After a class name, you have to place generic parameter name. So the generic parameter name is what? Single letter E. Up to now understand the syntax? Then I want to create add method. Tell me, add method parameter should be what here? Object E na? E. Whatever the name you have written, what are the generic parameter name you have written? Same name you have to write here. E. Next, what the return type of this method? What type you have written here? Generic parameter E. That E only you should write here. Get of int index. Is it clear my point? Now repeat once again. This is with generic or without generic, sir? With generic. Okay, first one is without generic. Without generic, type information there or not there? Not there. So this is with generics, collection is Heterogeneous or homogeneous? Homogeneous. Now I have a question. Sir, you have written here E. What is E, sir? What is E? E is the type, data type. What is the data type? Int, double, string, float, student, employee. What is that? This type to the E not decided in the class creation. That's why it is called what? Generic. Generic means what? Common. Understand now? Why the feature name is named as a generic? Generic means common. Now this class is specific to one type of object or common to all types of object? Tell me, this class is common to all or specific? Specific, what is that? Object. This class accepts what? Object. This class returns what? Object. Sir, object and any type of object, na? That is further discussion. That is runtime level, different objects accepts. Okay, but at a compilation time, for the compiler, what is that? Object means specific. It is a specific type object. Whereas this generic released with angular bracket E, it is what? Generic. Then what this class is called? Generic class. Generic class. Generic class means what it is? Common to, this class is a common to all data types. All data types. But sir, you told with generics, collection is a homogeneous. Now sir, where is homogeneous? Homogeneous will come when you are creating object. Try to observe now. Here if I create object, what do you write now? Array list AL equal to new array list. Tell me, this is homogeneous collection or heterogeneous collection? Heterogeneous collection accepts heterogeneous collection. Now I am writing AL dot add of double quote say allowed or not? Yes, allowed. Okay. Next AL dot add of 5 allowed or not? Yes. Next, if I write string s1 equal to AL dot get of 0 allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. Compiler throw error. Okay. Now we are trying to understand with generic syntax collection is homogeneous. Tell me, class is homogeneous, object is homogeneous. Object is homogeneous. Here I can write what everyone, array list angular bracket. What I write angular bracket here? Which type of objects you want to store? String al1 equal to below new array list of here what I write? Angular bracket string. Then tell me, it is what collection? Homogeneous collection. Homogeneous collection accepts only string type objects. Accepts only string type objects. Now let us try now. I am writing here al1 dot add of double quote say error or no error? No error. Now I am writing al1 dot add of 5 allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. This is allowed and this is not allowed. Compiler throw error. Okay, na buddy? Everyone understand now generic spirit meaning? Now sir, I want to store only integers. What to do? Create one more object. Tell me, collection class is generic, collection object is what? Specific. Repeating again, collection class is generic, collection object is what? Specific. This object is working specific to what? String. This object is working specific to what now? Integer. Now what do you write now? Integer. Here also what I should write? Integer. Then here what I write? Double quote say allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. It leads to compile time error. It is a homogeneous collection, accepts only which objects? Integer. If you pass a string object, what happened? Not allowed. It leads to compile time error. Online students understood? And double quotes 5 allowed or not allowed? Allowed. Finally, by this time completed, hope all the people understood. What is that? What is generics? Generic is nothing but Java 5 new feature. It is used for providing type safety information to or type information to the compiler. Okay. Type information to the compiler. By using generics feature, we can inform to compiler the type of object we want to store. We want to store in collection. We want to store in a collection object with type safety. By using generics, we can create homogeneous object. So how generics? Generic syntax is this. Now tell me, what is the sample program with generics? Let me, this all comes under what? Sorry. This all comes under sample program. Without generics, how the code will be? Without angular bracket. With generic, how the code will be? With a angular bracket. What this angular bracket is called? This angular bracket is called what? Generic parameter name. Generic parameter name. Buddy, come on, try to answer. With generic syntax, what are you doing? You are passing, try to understand, very interesting point. You are passing type as a argument. Yes or no? You are passing type as a argument. Compiler and JVM activities, execution flow. Ready now understanding? Compiler and JVM activities. When you write E here, compiler feels that, okay, this class parameter type and return type is not fixed. Achha, okay. Okay, this class parameter type and return type. This class method parameters and return type is not fixed. Whatever the type is coming here at a runtime, that type will be substituted here. That type will be substituted here. Bolo, previously, up to previous chapter without generics, what you learn? You passing arguments or not? Yes. Observe, you are passing argument to a method. You are returning value from the method. So tell me, what you are passing, value you are passing or object you are passing. With the help of generic syntax, what you are passing now? Type you are passing as an argument. What you are passing? Type, data type you are passing as an argument to the class. Then this string is passed as an argument, substituted as a method parameter and substituted as what? Return type of the method. Can you tell me one point? If you really remember object-oriented programming, what is a class? A class is a blueprint of an object. From the class, we can create multiple objects of same type. Now, I have created one class called what? Student. Then from the student class, I am creating first object, second object, third object. Yes or no? Tell me, can I say a class is a blueprint of object? Instead of for each object, separate class to create, what I am doing? I created only one class. I created one class. Now, from this class only we are creating all objects like that. Can I say a class with generic is a blueprint of a class or not? Understand my point? Try to understand this point. Tell me, I want array list class with only integers. I want array list class to take only string objects. I want array list class to take only student objects. Then tell me how many classes I have to create? Class array list open bracket, add method with what parameter? String. Get method with return type what? String. And again I should repeat one more class called array list with what? Get method, add method with integer, get method return type with integer. Like that. How many types of values and objects you want? Those many classes I have to create again and again. Bolo, with the generic syntax, that problem solved or not? With the generic syntax, how many classes you are creating? Only one class only you created. Only one class you created. From this class, at runtime, when you specify string here, automatically JVM creating one proxy class. Proxy what, sir? Proxy ante duplicate. Proxy. You know proxy? I should tell or not, I don't know. Nowadays in IT industry, we have proxies. Actually, you have to attend the interview. Behalf of you, other person attend the interview, all your questions he will answer. You don't know? It's illegal. If company knows, then you will not get job. And if company further knows, you will be removed from the company. So proxy means what? Behalf of you, other person doing your job is called what? Proxy. Proxy means physically available or logically available. In front of the interviewer, who is there? You there. Interviewer is seeing you. But background of you, who is there? Your friend there. Okay, you are standing in front of the camera and moving your mouth. Am. Background, he is giving answers. Tell me. Now, movie you take movie. In the movie, hero, heroine dancing in song. And they are singing song. Na? Are they singing a background singer singing? The background singers are singing, they are giving just a lip movement, right? That means this hero, heroine, background singers are what we call proxies. So behalf of this person he is working. That means proxies are physically you are seeing a logically background there. Logically background there. Similarly, at the compilation time, how many dot class files are generated from this class? One dot class file only generated, compiler activity. Only one dot class file is generated. What the name of the dot class file? ArrayList dot class. ArrayList dot class. Then when you create object of ArrayList class, which class is loading into JVM? ArrayList dot class file is loaded into JVM. Then based on this type string, one proxy class is created with the type what? E, and E replaced with what? String. Clear my point? And next, when you create array list of integer, another proxy class is created with what? Integer as a parameter, integer as a return type. Hope you all understand. These proxies classes actually will not be there at runtime. Sorry, again confusing. You said at runtime there. Runtime not there. At what time it will be there? Compilation. Okay, na? Actually, everybody saying that generic class is a, generally everybody saying, I am also telling, because you should not get confused in the future. Generic class is a blueprint of a class. That means from this one class, multiple classes are created based on the type we specified at the object. We specified string, then this E replaced with string, E contains string, here E contains string. Okay, next, when I write array list of integer, then one more class is created background in the JVM, one more proxy class is created in place of E. What is coming? Integer, integer. Are generic feature is for JVM or compiler? Compiler. For JVM, this E is internally object. Okay, this E is internally what? Object. Compiler software replaces all these E's with what? Object. With object only it will write. Later, in Java 1.4 version, whatever the code you have written, in Java 1.4 version, typecasting code you written for the get method, na? That typecasting code who will write? Compiler will write with instance of operator, avoiding class cast exception. Okay, na? So that all I will explain you practically, don't worry. So at this minute, I want you understand one point. Okay, JVM internals, compiler internals will discuss, but at this minute, what you have to understand? Okay, when you create a class array list of E, here type is specified or not specified? Not specified. Then this array list class is what? Generic class. Means it is working with what? All types of data types. Then if you pass a string, then this array list is homogeneous or heterogeneous? Homogeneous. Accepts only string. If I create array list with integer, this array list object is homogeneous or heterogeneous? Homogeneous. Accepts only integer objects. Who will stop it? Compiler. On what basis it will stop? Based on the type you have specified. It will verify, is this string integer? No, throw error. Is this integer? Yes, don't throw error. So everyone understand a compiler matching and execution? Comfortable? Now let me write the code with generic syntax in the system and let me show you output. So above I have written without generics. Let me show you here class cast exception. Tell me, if I add here in 0 index, double quotes 5, compiler stopped or not stopped? Not stopped. And at runtime we will get what? Exception. Where is the error coming? Look at here, we got what? Class cast exception at line number 79. So how to solve this class cast exception? By using typecast, by using instance of operator. Okay, then string s2 equal to string of obj1. Here 5 class cast exception will not come, remaining. Okay, if I take here 0 plus 1, then class cast exception will not come, a is written. If I take 1 0 here, coming value 5, instance of operator not executed. Okay, so by using generic syntax I can solve this problem. Observe how to solve this problem. Now I am creating array list, you all understood, so I am writing the code. I always first explain normally and then type the code, so that 2 times you are learning. After going to home, you no need to study again and again, it will be fed in your mind. Come on, what I am trying to do here, should I create array list class? Already available, already available as normal class, as a generic class, generic class. From which version? Java 5 version onwards. So what I should do now here, what type of objects I want to store? String. Array list of string al3 equal to new array list of string semicolon. Then I am trying to write al3 dot add of which type of objects I have to store? String. When compiler comes to this line, compiler will see add method you are calling with what? al3. al3 is what type? al3 what type? String type. Then string type argument is allowed? Yes. Compiler feel here what type of object? String type. Control F11. Look at there, what the parameter substituted? Understood? Here what type of object substituted? I didn't mention the generic. Then what type substituted? Object. After giving string type, what is coming here? String. Okay. Then I am trying to store double quotes 5. Allowed or not allowed? Allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. If you try to write 5, look at there. Compiler throwing error because the parameter is what? String type. So comment. Practically proved. Next, now I am trying to write al3 dot get of 0. Tell me, do I need to assign to object type or directly I can write to string type? Directly I can write to string type. Why? Because come on, because get method parameter type, get method return type is what now? String. How the string is substituted here? Because generic type, because generic type is string, so get method return type is also string. Okay, then can I directly call system.out.println, system.out.println s3.to uppercase directly? s3.to uppercase I can call directly, there will not be any compile time error. Where is uppercase man? Here. Control F11. No compile time error, no runtime error. Tell me, sir, in future maybe we will get, sir, why? Are you allowed to write 5 here? Here, are you allowed to write 5 here? Yes. Here, allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. That means at a compilation time only class cast exception problem solved na? What is the advantage of generics? 6 point. What is the, or what are the advantages of generic feature? What are the advantages? We can specify type to the compiler, means we can specify the type of objects allowed to store. We can specify the type of objects allowed to store in collection when at the time of compilation itself, at the compilation itself, so that at runtime we will not require to do casting. We will not get class cast exception. We no need to use instance of operator. Hence program execution is fast. Understood? So that at runtime, number 1, will not require to do casting. When there is no casting, number 2, will not get class cast exception. And point number 3, because class cast exception will not get, we no need to use instance of operator condition. Fourth, hence a program execution is fast. So can you tell me, basically, last point, generics feature is added to Java language, number 1, to avoid class cast exception and instance of operator usage, and number 2, and make collection program and for simplifying collection programming. Okay, can I prove these 2 points with the above program? Look at here, how simplified. Previously, how many lines of code I am writing? Super class variable, instance of operator, typecasting and calling. With generic, how many lines I am writing? Only 2 lines. Retrieve into local same type of variable and then call to uppercase man. So everyone got clarity on generics? If somebody asks generics, then immediately what you have to answer? I know. If somebody say, do you know generics? Can I use generics? For example, in advanced Java, Spring, Spring Boot, microservices, or in project, or in company, somebody say that. Do you know, okay, something about generics if they talk, then immediately you should raise your hand. Yeah, I know. Tell me what you know. What is the advantage of generics? Where you use generics? Generics is used for specifying type of objects to be stored by avoiding further while retrieving. Further while retrieving, we can avoid class cast exception. We can avoid instance of operator condition so that project execution is fast. So generics feature makes collection programming simplified. Amaya. All points are completed. Online students, main concept completed, Roy. If you all got clarity on the main purpose of collection, then I'll proceed with next points. Clear? Really understand? No acting, no? This is problem number 4. What the problem number 4? Performance issue. Because of instance of operator, performance issue. Go back to the project, buddy. Amaya, tell me. With generic syntax, the promise came on the air or outside programmer, in the programmer, in the program. With generics. Without generics, promise there outside. With generics, now the promise is there inside. Yeah, Sachin, reflection API, I will take workshop next week. You can attend. Okay, next week or coming next 1 or 2 weeks, I'll take reflection API full chapter. You can join. Okay, means probably. Okay, I'll tell you the date so that you people can plan. Same time, 7 p.m. or 8:30 like that. Okay, I'll tell you the time, don't worry. So, yeah, around 16th. Okay, 16th like that, I'm going to plan reflection API as a workshop. You can plan to attend. Okay, reflection API full chapter I'll explain. This is not a course. Asutosh Biswal. Okay, it is not a course. Clear? It is a one topic, one feature. It is a one feature, generics, given in Java 5 version. Clear? Yeah, stream API topic we will cover. If time permits today, I will explain it. Else tomorrow we are planning. Tomorrow we will continue the same workshops with the same link. First, I want you to understand fully generics with collection, then stream API will come. It is already streaming on YouTube live. After class completed, it is available in the YouTube, NareshIT.com. Okay, no need to worry about collecting everything. Okay, done. So shall I proceed now? Points. Look at here. This is the notes which I have written. Same points. This feature is introduced in Java 5 to provide type for methods, parameters, and return types dynamically by achieving compile time type checking for solving class cast exception. Vamo, if you want me to take Whoops workshop, it will take 3 months for me. Only Whoops I'll teach for 3 months. Okay. Or you can post your doubts. You post your doubts of, your doubts on Whoops, then maybe I'll plan those questions as a workshop. Okay. Then it means this feature allows us to pass the type for a method parameters and return type at runtime when this class object is created. If you define a class or interface enum with generic type, that class is called parameterized type or what? Generic type. Methods is called generic type method. Constructor is called generic type constructor. Generally, constructor will not be their only method. Syntax to create a class with a generic parameter. Class, example, angular bracket. Here what you write? Any letter you can write, E or T or whatever. Now observe, very important. This is what? Generic class. And this is generic method, a method with generic type. It is a method with generic type. It's not a generic method. Adiksha, this is not a generic type method. This is a method with generic parameter. Whatever type you specify, same type will be coming here. But this fellow is generic type. Here I am writing, let's say some U you can write, or same T also you can write, not a problem here. Okay, let me take for your no confusion, U, and here I am writing UU. Now observe, what is the M2 method now? M2 method is not a generic method with generic parameter. It is a generic type method. That means the T whatever you passed here, that is applied here or not applied? Not applied. It is a different type will come here. So how to work with the generic method I will explain. Next, this is a constructor, just normal constructor. This is a no param constructor, and this is what? Constructor with generic parameter. What is the type you specify? Same type will come here. Okay, is everyone understand now? This is the syntax of this. Now this is a generic class and this is a generic parameter. So if you want to say a method is a generic parameter, before return type I have to write angular bracket the type name. Object creation of above class. We must pass class name as argument for creating object of this class. We must pass what? Class name as argument. Class, example class, want to contain what type of object? String type. Then class string E1 equal to new example of string. Then this example class method parameter is string. Example class method return type is string. Let me take this as M3 method, and here I am taking M2 method. M2 method with return type is what? T. Okay, remove this parameter. And now observe, if I take example E1, the method parameter, M1 method parameter is string, M1 method return type is string. Next rule. Then using E1, we should call M1 method only by passing string object, because M1 method parameter for E1 object is string. If we pass integer object, it leads to compile time error. E1.M1 of double quote say right, E1.M1 of 10 wrong. Okay, next example class object to accept only integer objects in calling M1 method. Example of integer E1 equal to new example of integer. E2.M1 of double quote say error, and next E2.M1 of 10 is wrong, correct. Is it clear? Then what is the main reason for the generic introduction? Basically, generic type feature provides compile time type safety for calling methods as shown above. The main reason of introducing this feature is to solve collection coding problem class cast exception. To solve this exception, compiler should only allow homogeneous objects. To add a collection object with homogeneous only homogeneous objects to add to the collection object. So generics feature is introduced to create homogeneous collection. That means a collection with only same type of object. So by using this feature, we can tell to compiler what type of elements only must be added to a collection object as shown below. Array list string al equal to new array list of string. From above statement, compiler allows us to add only string objects to the collection object. If you add integer objects, compiler throws compile time error because add method parameter is string. Everyone understand? Then al dot add of double quotes al dot add of double quotes time. Which line is error? First line is no error. Second line is error. Haripada, if you join class just now, please don't ask questions, man. Digvijay, you can ask now only, no problem. Okay, so that other students also come to know. The question is related to current discussion topic, no problem. If it is another topic, then wait. Okay, then below are the collection classes definitions as per 1.4 version. Look at that. Java 1.4 array list and iterator. Iterator we didn't discuss, but still I have written. Look at there. Add method of object. Get method return type is object. Iterator. Iterator is of which type of iterator? It is objects. Then iterator has next method. And next method return type is object. It returning all types of objects. Java 5 array list and iterator with the generics. What is coming here? E. The same E is going to add method, the same E coming to the get method, the same E going to iterator. And iterator, the same E coming, the same E going to the next method. Is it clear, guys? Now, Java 1.4 linked hash map. You tell me yourself. I'm hiding everything for you. I explain you array list. You tell me map. Map is meant for storing one object or two objects, sir. Two objects, right? Key and a value. Key and value ante now generic parameters, how many I should pass? I want to tell to compiler this map allowed to store this type of key, this type of value. That means the method must accept how many parameters? Two parameters. What the first parameter? K. Key full form is shortcut is what? K. Value shortcut is what? V. So tell me what is without generic linked hash map code? Class linked hash map open bracket closed bracket. Inside how many methods are there? So many methods, but two methods we consider. First method is what? Put method. Put method parameter object obj comma object key comma object value. Okay, and return type is what? Object. Return type object. Method name is put. Parameter is object key comma object value. Get method prototype is what? Return type is object. Get of parameter is what? Object key. This is without generic. Can you apply generic now? With the generic, lot of meaningful program become complete meaningful. Observe now. Class linked hash map. I hide the screen, online students. Okay, I'm trying you to visualize the code. Okay, you learn already array list. I want you apply the knowledge on map. Tell me, class linked hash map angular bracket. How many parameters now should be there? Two generic parameters. What is the first one? K comma V. K comma V. Open bracket and then down. I have to read what? Add method. Put method. Put method return type is object. That object is a key object or value object? Value object. Then what will come there? V. Okay, na return type V. Previously put method return type is object. What is that object? Key object or value object or no clarity. With the generic we got clarity na. V and then put of K comma V capital K comma capital V. And then get method takes what? Parameter K and return type previously object no meaning. Now we are writing what? V is what? Full meaning. Observe now. You only try. I don't help. This one. These two dabbas. You only try to understand. Okay, if you consistently attend Java 8 new features workshop, then I am ready to take. One day come, one day missing. If you like that, I don't take as a workshop. People who join for today workshop, if you consistently attend, then I will take. So one day coming, one day not coming, it's a disturbance. Java 8 new features will take minimum 1 week. Java 8 new features workshop. If you want me to take, I will take as a workshop. I'm okay with that. But you must consistently, if you come, I will take. No money, free of cost only I'll teach. So your success will give you more happiness than money. People are charging, 10,000. Some people charging 10,000, 5,000, 2,000, 1,000. That's okay. I'll take free of cost. Yeah, without stream API knowledge, actually you cannot imagine attend the interview. First question only will come. Find the max of two numbers by using stream API. Find the square root of a number by using stream API. Filter the elements available in the collection by using stream API. Okay. So all the points I will cover in detail if you are okay. Yeah, Java 8 is part of stream API. Yogesh, it's not separate. Okay. Everyone look at here. So write a Java program, collect only string objects using array list, retrieve and print in uppercase by using get method, iterator and for each loops. Okay. Now look at here. Without non-generic, how much code is complex? Right, observe. First I have to write what? Array list. Second I have to write what? Add of double quotes A. Okay. And al dot add of double quotes B, double quotes C. Now iterator itr equal to al dot iterator. Iterator is nothing but get method only. Okay. First checking condition and then itr dot next. Tell me what is the return type of the next method now? You are calling next method by using iterator. Iterator is what type? Iterator of object. Iterator you are obtaining by using what? Array list. Array list of what type? Array list of object. Connection. ITR variable pointing to what? Iterator object. Iterator object obtained on what? AL. AL is of what type? Array list. Clear my point? So array list of strings are, array list of objects are. Array list of object. The array list of objects you applied here? No. Now array list of string applied? No. Then I have to take into object, then typecast, and then what? Call. In meanwhile, if I add al dot add of 5 here, then here will you get class cast exception? To avoid class cast exception, what I should write here? Instance of operator, performance issue. Okay. Here I should write if. Let me write that code also. If what do you write? obj instance of what? String. Then only obj instance of string. Then only go typecast and execute it. That means what happened here? Lot of code is increased. Performance issue will come. Yes or no? Then now to avoid this, look at the Java 5 based code with generics. Generic array list. Now I specified what now? String. When I specify string, we are allowed to store only strings. Here let me also remind you by adding the value 5. Okay. And here if I try to add value 5, allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. Compiler throw error. Al dot add of 5. And then here we'll get compile time error. So if you practice these examples, then you'll feel more comfortable. Then integer of string, iterator of has next. Iterator is called by using what? AL. AL is called by using what? Array list of strings. Then next method return type is what? String. Then can I directly write to uppercase? Should I write this type downcasting if conditional? No. Okay. If you don't add a string parameter to integer, then next method returns elements as what? Object. For example, here observe. Array list is generic, but iterator is not created as a generic. Then what happened? The objects written from the next int method is what? Object only. Again, we have to go for typecasting, if condition, everything. And the old code you have to write here. So this is the basic understanding on generics, full knowledge. Can I expect everyone understand? Really? Will you practice this entire material? Okay, this program is available. People who attend for the workshop, please collect this notes part from the YouTube live video. And people, regular students, I will share to your regular Google Classroom. Okay, today if you practice all these points and if you get connection to this linking, nothing but what is the topic? Compiler and JVM activities. What compiler doing? JVM activities I didn't explain it. Compiler activities. Actually, JVM is no way related here. JVM is no way related. Only what? Compiler. Compiler activities. Compiler will check the method argument type. Compiler check method argument type with the generic parameter. If matched, compile. Otherwise, it throw a error. And then advantages. So if these 6 points and then this program, and of course I gave one program for your better clarity one more time here. If you practice this material and come tomorrow also we continue the same workshop with the same link. Are you following? Same workshop with the same link you have to join. Tomorrow we are continuing. Generics related, we have some entry questions. Okay, generics with collections completed, but on generics we have entry questions. Very, very, very important entry questions are there. So those questions I have to cover. And also we have something called wild character. For the concept we have wild character. Sometimes we'll use question mark. Sometimes we use question mark extends. Sometimes we use question mark super. When to use wild character question mark, when to use a question mark with extends, when to use a question mark with super, and inheritance relation between generic type, that entry questions we have to cover. So then tomorrow same time at 7 p.m. you have to join the class. Clear my point? Same time 7 p.m. you have to join by using same link. What is the link? Already I shared it. Go to NareshIT.com. Go to NareshIT.com. In NareshIT.com, go to training, new batches, and then workshops. And here click on this link and join. Tomorrow also this link will be enabled as it is. Okay. Thank you everyone. See you all tomorrow. And tomorrow at same time 7 p.m. please come to class with practice. Without practice, if you come, you will get confusion. Okay. In YouTube video is there, buddy. Just to take the screenshot of last flights. Go to video last. Take the screenshots. Simple. Technology, you are very strong in technology, you know. Use technology. And tomorrow, if possible, I'll create Google Classroom and I'll share this material to all students. Okay? YouTube video. Arre yaar, Rahul. Go to YouTube, search for NareshIT.com. Go to live, you will find it. Okay, na? Yeah. Digvijay, what is your question, man? Ask. Yeah, comments, everything I like. Class SIM card, no SIM card, get name, return new SIM card. Geo extends SIM card. Okay. Class mobile. 1 minute, I'm seeing your question. Let me copy this. It's scrolling up and down. Is a super class. Subclass. Another subclass. Okay, mobile. Call SIM card. Get name. Main method. I think this topic is completed, so please ask my classmate also to answer. What's the doubt, man, here? Digvijay, what is the doubt? Guess output. Okay. This dot s is there. Okay. Tell me by I use if I not use any generic, what happens when? Yeah, Haripada. If you don't use Angular bracket E, then the class will become object type parameter class. It accepts everything. But we want to accept only same type of object. String only allowed. I want to accept only string. Okay, then if you want to accept only string, you have to use generic. Yeah, such in method reference comes in Java 8. Okay, this is the runtime polymorphism based question. Okay, come on guys, tell me. Anybody can try to answer this? He challenging you. Now this is what. Okay, everyone understand this project final conclusion? What you write here? This fellow will write array list of student. Okay, written what? Array list of student. Can in the controller, do I need to do any typecasting instance of operator? Not required, because coming objects only student. Okay, if the new developer coming here, if he try to add address, compiler will throw error. Okay, fine. This is a project scenario also we completed. Now tell me what he's trying to tell. So mobile object is created, calling by passing what? 0. Then 1 second. This is the code. Come on, try. This is mobile object created and calling call method by passing what? Geo object. Geo object come to here. Geo accept by SIM card? Yes. Geo is the subclass of SIM card. Then we call sim dot get name. Sim is a variable of what type? Superclass. JVM searching for get name method in which class? Superclass. With what object is searching? Subclass. What the subclass? Geo. According to runtime polymorphism. Method is what it is? Non-static method. Then method is available here. Here this keyword is created with what object? Geo. Because current object is Geo, control is going to Geo class. Geo class get name method is called. Right? Get name method return type is what? Geo. What is the return type in superclass? SIM card. Tell me, return type allowed to change or not allowed to change? Job. Which version? Covariant returns. With covariant returns, we can change superclass to subclass, na? Is it allowed or not allowed? Allowed. Okay. And then geo class message is printed. Geo class. Then return geo object. From here, control is coming to here get name. What is substituted here? Geo object. Geo object dot what you are calling? Yes. Now in geo class s variable what value? 0. So geo class and what is the output coming? 0. Digvijay, correct answer? Wrong. Why wrong? Also wrong. Let me check. No SIM card comes, sir. This will come. Okay, let me check. Let me save it. Okay. 1 minute. I did mistake. Correct. Your point is correct. I consider, okay, the variable type I forgot to consider. Thank you. What is that? SIM variable. SIM is what type? SIM card. According to variable hiding, tell me, this, what is returning here? SIM dot get name, returning what object? Geo. But geo is coming via, geo object is coming via which type? Superclass, na? It is coming via what? SIM card. The variable type, what you have to use? SIM. Then the object return as what type? Superclass type. What is the superclass here available method return type is SIM card. SIM card dot yes. What the yes value will come? Inside geo object, we have what is this? Geo class. And then what we class we have? SIM card class. Inside SIM class, S variable is no SIM. Inside Geo class, SIM variable is what? Geo. Now, you return Geo object via overriding method. You return Geo object via overriding method. But this is a original method. Original method is this method. Come on. Get name method you have called with what? Original method, this one. So the return value again will go to what? Super class. It return via super class return type. So geo object is coming as a geo, no, as a super class type. Super class. Super class type of S variable if you call, then it is executed from which class? Super class available in the object. So output is called no SIM card. Thank you, Digvijay. Super point you told. Excellent point. Okay, everyone now got clarity? Why you got output this? Yeah, correct. Answer is correct. Because the object we are returning, we call here, what is the reference variable we have used? Geo reference variable or SIM type reference variable? SIM type reference variable. So the method is matching to which class? Get name method. Compiler following what? Get name method. Get name method of which class? Super class. So super class method means output is new geo. So total output is what? Geo class. Output is geo class, and then next one is what? No SIM. Variable value reading from super class. Yeah, super point here. Thank you for sharing. I will explain this program in the next batches too. Okay. Uh, everyone got idea or shall I explain again? Understood? What you have to catch my point here? Because the sim dot get name method written in the println, we got trapped. We forgot compiler. We were only applying what? JVM. So what the mistake we did? We applied only JVM flow. We forgot what? Compiler flow. So according to compiler, the object coming as what type? Super class method return type. Why super class method return type? Because I call this method by using which variable? Sim variable. Okay, let me explain again. Some people are asking. So first point, what you have to understand? This method is called by using which referenced variable? SIM. SIM variable is what type? SIM card. Then control will go to which class? SIM card class method. What the return type of this method? SIM card. Then what is placed here? SIM card is placed. Okay, SIM card dot S. Then S value coming from which class now? SIM card class. So what is the output you get? No SIM card. Now direct point I told. Got clarity here? Overriding, hiding. Do you remember? Method of overriding. Okay, variable hiding, method of overriding, method hiding, method of overloading. These four topics: variable hiding, method of overriding, method of overloading. These four topics, if you don't practice with the different cases, you will commit mistake. See, I myself committed mistake. Okay, faculty commit mistake and student easily commit mistake. That's why practice is very important. Again and again practice. Different cases, practice is important. Okay, anyways, thank you so much. And yeah, I remember here, Digvijay. I remember you. Your 5 p.m. batch. Okay. Yeah, anyways, I'm covering again reflection API. Next time you can attend. Okay, done. So with this, we completed our generic introduction and advantages of generic and generic based program, compiler following, JVM following. Then tomorrow we have to understand the next concepts in generics, that is question mark is called wildcard and wildcard based rules. So don't miss tomorrow class, same time 7 p.m. by using same link with YouTube live also will be provided. Okay, you people practice this program also, type this program as it is in your system and get answer. Okay, so that you will get clarity. When you come back tomorrow, if this program still if you have doubts, I will explain you again. Thank you. Right. Thank you everyone. Good night.